Whey.
All right, welcome to the video. It's kind of dark, but we are at packet pickup, so we'll get this handled. Looks like everybody's showing up. It's gonna be a good turnout and a beautiful day. All right, we are finished. Hour and 8 minutes. Top 4. Everything went really good. We'll go over to the scoreboard and we'll check that out in just a few minutes so you can see live what happened. So I'm at the transition area where the bikes are at. Everybody's pretty much finishing up and getting their bike. So I'll walk through and let you see everything. You can see it behind me here. I got my bike over here. There'll definitely be a post-race edition. Definitely going to get on here and spend a few minutes talking about this triathlon, just a sprint over in Fort DeSoto, which is considered St. Pete Beach, St. Petersburg, Florida. So let's get the bike to the car, get everything turned in, get changed up, and enjoy the relaxation. All right, we just got from the race from Fort DeSoto. Now we're in St. Pete, and we're gonna go to Coconut Charlie's, and we're gonna try it out. When you go to the beach, you gotta find something to go check out.
So, 20 minutes. But it'll take you like 10 minutes to walk down. Are you sure?
Hey, baby.
Yeah.
Hey. You see the baby?
Oh, you can see him so.
Hey, Bubba.
And Bubba?
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Sit down, Mickey.
I changed into this guy.
Okay, so I deleted the video on accident, so I'm gonna try to do this race recap again. I'm gonna walk you through Fort DeSoto Triathlon. That was about 7 days ago, and I've definitely been done for a while, 7:30, 8:30, so yeah, been done for probably an hour at this point in time a week ago. So we'll start with getting up in the morning. We got up at 4:30. It was about an hour drive, and when we got to Fort DeSoto, when you got to the bay, before you got to the island, you really had to do the speed limit. It was all new construction. It was 35 miles an hour, and it was just a lot of traffic. But getting there was very easy. So you get into the park, you go right. There's like 2 or 3 parking areas on the left. You'll pass the snack stand, and then the next 2 parking areas is like where they keep the bikes at, in this little small parking lot. There was probably, I don't know, 1,000 athletes, because I ended up with top 4 of my age group, and I did it in an hour and 8 minutes roughly. So I am doing the next 2 series. I'll be doing one on, I think it's July 9th and September 3rd, and then Chattanooga is September 24th. So basically, you get in there, the parking attendants were like, oh, it's over here, go to that big trailer with a red light on it, get your packet. So got in the line about 6 after getting in there. It was literally like 15 to 20 minutes to get to the parking spot, and then you had to rush up to get your packet, which your packet pickup was from the hours of 5:30 and 6:30. And then transition was from 6 to 6:30. So you had to definitely get over there and get the stuff and then get your bike. So what I did is I got my bike unloaded, got my gear, and carried it with me to packet pickup. And then from packet pickup, I was able to do, a setup for my bike. Oh, let me back up. So then I went to body marking, and you have to get your chip. and then my chip was $6.99. So then you hold it up to this computer to activate it, and then you put on your ankle. Training tip, this ain't gonna cost you anything extra, so you're not mentally thinking about it. Take a little safety pin and put it on the Velcro strap that connects it to the baseline of the band that the chip's on. And you can kick your feet, you can run, you can bike, and that thing is not coming off. If you depend on the Velcro, you could lose it, and that's a pain. All right, so now transitions closed at 6:30. Now, it was about 6:40 when I got all my stuff set up, and I got a gear video coming. So I'll talk about gear in that video, and to bring everything but the kitchen sink. Because I've seen people toting stuff out of there, and they had like bags and buckets and these little, I don't know, it's like a cage on wheels with stuff in it. I'm like, man, they took everything, including the kitchen sink. So don't be that person, because you look ridiculous. So you go to the swim. They have a rolling swim start. So they start at 7 to 7:20, and I was a sprint, so the sprint started at 7:20. It's only about 500 meters, so you swim out about, 50 yards, and then you swim down about 400 yards, and the tide was going out, so it was carrying me out, so I had to cut over and then swim back about 60 yards. So the swim show took me about 8 minutes, but I did it in 10. So yeah, I finished up the swim. Actually had some shoes up on the beach, because the beach was about a quarter-mile run from the beach to the transition area. So I slipped my shoes on real quick. I just had some extra shoes in case they were gone. They were like, any kind of extra running shoes, put them somewhere just in case, because you never know if you're going to need an extra pair of running shoes. And I mean like junky shoes, not to run in, but if you need to try to get them on during transition, because it's going to be a long area, or it's going to be asphalt with little pebbles on it that's going to hurt your feet. And I mean, it was a USAT race, but I don't know how technical they are with, wearing shoes after the swim, drafting. I mean, there wasn't anybody out there like checking that stuff. So it was a USAT race, but it wasn't a technical USAT race. It was just, for me, it was more for like a training scenario, under the moment. All right, so got back to transition. I think it was like a minute run and then a minute to transition. Got my bike. I chose not to wear socks. I threw on my bike shoes, my helmet, sunglasses. I had a bottle of water there. I stuck it in my jersey, because it was only a 25-minute ride. So I didn't have any like nutrition, which is a no-no. I get that. And I had water, and that was it. I figured that was enough. And I kept it up front in my jersey so I could just, grab it out and drink it. And then after that, I come flying back into transition, and I stopped, got off at the bike mount line, hung my bike, threw off my bike shoes, my helmet. Then I had a hat, put my hat on to keep the sweat out of my eyes. Sunglasses were already on, put my running shoes on, no socks. But I did get a little sand in my shoes, so my ankles were not raw, but just, I don't know, it was kind of weird. It's already healed up and gone away, but it was just like a little irritation from the sand in the shoe. So then they have you run out of transition. You're on this bike path, and you're running down about 1.5 miles, and then you're running on the beach for 1.5 miles. And I had about a 7:10 to 7:20 pace, and then my pace moved up. And it was also muddy too, so you're like slipping and you can't get no traction. So that definitely messed up your run. So it kind of slowed down a little bit, and it was 3.3. So the swim was like 10 minutes, bike was 25, and then the run was like 25. So it was like an hour and 8 minutes with transition. So then I get to the finish line, hour and 8 minutes. I go to the board, check everything, and I'm like, man, 4th place. So I can always come back to redeem myself, is kind of what I was thinking. So finish up. I don't know, just a really good race. I did run about 80 PSI, I do have tubes in my tires. I'm not running tubeless. I do have bikes that are tubeless, but this bike per se, I was running 80 psi because it is a bumpy course and it's uneven on the run. So definitely, if you're able to watch this before the next race, these little perks and tips will help you. Before I close out the video, I did want to talk a little bit about new triathletes, and I mean younger kids. I mean from 5 to say 18 age group. A lot of the older guys that are pros are retiring and phasing out. So I think it's our job as age groupers is if we see that up and coming triathlete, like for instance, this kid at the YMCA, he's a fast swimmer, a fast runner. He bought a bike and he's having to learn the bike, but I don't know. With him learning the bike, I feel like once he gets that down, he can do a sprint. He's doing a sprint in Claremont. He can do a sprint in, man, probably 50 minutes. Definitely be a good sprint. So yeah, so definitely if you know someone that you can take under your wing and get out there and, you know, help them find their way with a triathlon, please do it. Please show up and help them, give them tips, bless them with stuff. And I don't know. This video's a wrap. That's really I had to say on my heart. So have fun. Tell somebody about a triathlon. Stay safe. And I will see you guys and gals at the next start line at your next triathlon.